Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be taking you along for a pantry declutter and reorganization project. I did this at my parents' house and it was kind of a full day project. They've got a really big pantry right off of their main kitchen area that's become a catch-all for a lot of different things. So I spent time across the day emptying it out, seeing what I had, decluttering what didn't need to live there, and then reorganizing it using a couple of pretty affordable products that I will show you later as well. If you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the red subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss a future upload. I'm really excited for you guys to see the end result of this project, so hang on to the end of the video for the grand reveal. If you're like me, in the last couple of weeks, you have binged all the new episodes of The Home Edit Season 2. That is always such a fun show to watch, I think, to see the different organization projects that they do and the before and after photos I love. So I was definitely channeling some of this energy into my pantry design, but on a little bit more of a budget. So the idea here was to use the space, just to reorganize what we already had in here without adding in a ton of organization items. That said, I did end up finding a couple of baskets, some neat baskets that hung right on the shelving in the pantry. I also got a couple of organization items for some of the pots and pans, but all in all, under $50 for the total project. I started by just taking out everything that was in the pantry. I wanted to see it all laid out because what fits, away hidden behind closed doors, it's amazing when you take it all out how much you actually might have. Once I had all the items removed from the pantry, it was incredible to see just how much space there really was in there. The next step after this was going to be deep cleaning because, as you can see here, I was already finding dust bunnies and I knew the entire inside of the pantry needed one good deep clean. I have to admit, even I was shocked once I had everything out of the pantry how much there really was. There's kitchen items in there, there's cleaning items in there, there's just extra backstock of different things. There's the leaves for the table if you want to make the dining table bigger. It really had become a catch-all for everything, and I cannot recommend this step enough in an organization project. You have to get everything out just to see what you're dealing with, and what you want to put back in versus what you need to get rid of, donate. It's a great time for a clean out. When it was time to go ahead and start deep cleaning the pantry, the first thing that I did was vacuum. And as you can see, I'm not only vacuuming the floors of the pantry, but with a lightweight vacuum head, it's really easy, and I would recommend using it to actually vacuum the shelves of the pantry itself. It'll save you time if you don't like dusting, and you're basically accomplishing the same thing. So that's the hack that I used while cleaning out this pantry. Once I had vacuumed everything, I then went over and wiped it down with a damp cloth and just some all-purpose cleaning spray, so that everything that I was putting back in was going to start fresh. There's no doubt it can be a little bit overwhelming when you've taken everything out of a pantry or another space that you're organizing, and now all of a sudden it's just taken over the entire room. So now you have to go through it, what I would recommend is take your time. Look at every item. If you've got food or drinks in there, be checking expiration dates to make sure you are not spending the time organizing and restocking anything that needs to actually be thrown out. But other than that, you are checking, make sure it's still good, see if you still need it, want it, and actually use it. If not, it could be a great time to donate or just purge some of the things in whatever space you're organizing. And then as you go through, this process can be a little bit tedious, but use it as a chance to also sort like items so that you can start thinking about what order and how you want to put these items back into whatever organization system that you have, whether it's a pantry, a closet, or just how you want to organize it in that space that you're working within. This pantry organization project was definitely done on a budget, but one of the things that I did decide to purchase were a couple of clear bins. We had a lot of koozies in this pantry that were just kind of all over the place, so I thought it could be, 1, a good way to organize them, 2, easy to see what we actually have, and 3, that they would look nice. So I did spend some time reorganizing the koozies into 2 different organizers that one I already had, one the clear bin that I purchased, and I was really pleased with the end result. After I did this project, it was time to start putting things back in the pantry, and here it's a little bit art and a little bit science. You want to look at what you have, and then you just want to start playing around. What space is it going to work best in? Does it fit on this shelf, or does it need to go on a different shelf? Where do you want to store the items that you have, the ones you use most often, easily accessible, that type of thing. So I started to go through that process and put some things back in the pantry. This was one of the other organizers that I bought, and I got everything that I purchased in this video at Marshall's. They've got great organizers that are oftentimes discounted from the prices you'll see other places, so highly recommend. One of the big areas that I wanted to organize was taking some of the dishes, pots, pans, and they had just been piled up like crazy in the pantry before, so trying to find some organizers so that I could space them out, make it easier for my parents to actually grab them out of the pantry and use them. These organizers were good. It's a little bit difficult when they're preset like this because it's not going to fit every pot or pan. That said, did a little bit of trial and error. You'll see me move some things around, but ultimately got it to a point that I was really happy with. Last type of organizer that I picked up at Marshall's, I was absolutely in love with. These are little baskets, and you'll see that they've got a hook on them. They slide right onto the shelf in the cabinet, and they provide extra storage. This is especially helpful if you have really tall shelves, so you've got a lot of space between shelves that the items you're putting on the shelf, they're not taking advantage of that space. So here, I was putting it under, sitting it on the last shelf down, because there's a lot of space between the floor and that first shelf that just wasn't being utilized. So this is a great affordable option to provide extra storage space for yourself in any closet, pantry, even a cabinet. you're organizing a big space like a large closet or pantry, sometimes the most important things can be using smaller bins to organize different sections within the larger space. So I had two projects within the pantry that I wanted to reorganize. The first is what we call our tailgating box. It's got everything that you need for parties or tailgates, so a lot of paper plates, plastic, silverware, all those types of things. So I had cleaned and organized this earlier, and so I was putting everything back in and making sure it was organized before it went back in the closet. The second project that I was working on within the larger pantry was a drawer and a couple of spaces where we were organizing towels. So these are like cleaning towels that we like to have up and around the house, different rags, things like that. So I took what was overflowing from the bins and went with the rolling method. If you roll up shirts, towels, it can work with a lot of different things. You can fit a ton more in to a pre-existing bin. I was able to get all of the towels to fit right back within the same bin. Parents were very impressed, and it all stored really nicely in the base of the pantry at the end. So I was very happy with these kind of smaller projects within the larger pantry. I was so happy with the way everything turned out. The pantry was reorganized, it was nice and clean, things were easy to find, and there was still a lot of space left over for future things that will be added to the pantry over time. I think that's a great feature of any organization project. Leave yourself some empty space if you can, because you know that you will continue to add things. Thanks for joining me on this organizing project. I would love to hear what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section on the video below, and I'll see you guys next time.